Marco Polo returns following these messages.
On Tuesday, September 18th, a sneak week preview of an all-new A-Team.
I don't know why we don't go up there and just kick some butts.
You'll flip over the non-stop action on an all-new A-Team. Then meet the most unlikely partners on the force. He's no saint, she's no angel. Together, they couldn't be better. Hunter, a 2-hour movie premiere, September 18th.
If you're a black person, or white, or Asian, or American Indian, if you're Protestant, Catholic, or Jewish, if you're an employer or an employee, or retired, if you're voting for the first time or the 50th time, before you do, remember this. The Republicans brought inflation down. And when inflation is low, all of us benefit, not just one part of America. Vote Republican for everyone's future.
A confrontation over abortion after the movie.
Marco Polo continues.
A lot of people think America can't cut the mustard anymore. That quality counts for nothing, and hard work for even less. And commitment, that went out with a hula hoop. Well, when you've been kicked in the head like we have, you learn pretty quick to put first things first. And in the car business, product comes first. And product is what brought us back to prosperity. High mileage, front-wheel drive, quality product. By the way, with the best safety recall record over the last 2 full model years of any American car. Convertibles, they said, nobody wanted, but everybody copied. Sports cars and luxury cars with turbos so powerful, so efficient, you'll never go back to a V8 again. And a wagon so versatile, so right for America today, we can't build enough of them. Not bad for a company that had one foot in the grave. Today, every man and woman at Chrysler has a commitment to build cars that will take on the best. We will build 2 sedans this fall, LeBaron GTS and Dodge Lancer, that will challenge BMW, Audi, even Mercedes for thousands less. And next year, we will build a small car right here in America with quality that we're determined will beat the Japanese at their own game. And we will build the best-backed American cars with 5-year or 50,000-mile protection. Quality, hard work, commitment. The stuff America is made of. Without them, there is no future. I have one and only one ambition for Chrysler, to be the best. What else is there?
Will somebody take me home?
You can get fluffy lamb for your kids, free from Del Monte, and collect the other country Yumkins with labels from Del Monte and Hawaiian Punch products, while stores are celebrating Del Monte Country Fair.
Next Sunday, Sneak Week begins as 2 undercover cops put it all on the line. Their jobs can tear a family apart.
You're all players, Sonny. You get high on the action.
No! With your life on the line, sometimes only your partner can pull you through.
It's not your fault, man.
Miami Vice premieres next Sunday. Let's all be there Wednesday, September 26th.
It wouldn't be the same without you.
When the Facts of Life returns for a brand new season.
You're gonna laugh.
And you're going to love Jason Bateman and the new comedy that breaks all the rules. It's Your Move.
It's terrific.
It's the premiere of Facts of Life, followed by It's Your Move, September 26th.
This is going to be a great night.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Best Western International. Here is Jennifer McLogan, NBC News.
Good evening. Tropical storm Diana is off the East Coast, threatening to become a full-blown hurricane. 5 southern states are mobilizing against its possible onslaught. Autumn has come to Quebec, Canada, and so has Pope John Paul II. He'll spend 12 days in Canada, seeking to restore religious ties, weakened there by social changes over the past 4 decades. The Mideast Skyjack episode, which started yesterday over Iran, ended today after stops in Bahrain and Egypt. Gunmen who seized the plane surrendered in exchange for Iraqi asylum. Finally, tomorrow morning on the Today program, you can meet the new chief of the Soviet Armed Forces, Marshal Sergei Akhamayev, as he is interviewed by host Bryant Gumbel. I'm Jennifer McLogan in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Hey, look at that. What? Now you can do your banking coast to coast. Providence Savings Bank goes nationwide. Isn't that great? Yeah.
What's it mean?
It means a terrific new service for Providence Savings Bank customers.
What's the nationwide thing?
That's what's special, the first nationwide network.
Oh! How does it work?
Look, you have a savings and checking account with them.
Providence Savings Bank?
Yes. You're out of town.
A vacation?
Vacation. Business. Whatever. Just go to any first nationwide network office. Yeah. Get your check. Do any banking business.
Where?
Coast. They have affiliated savings associations in New York. See? They have them in Florida, Miami, in San Francisco, Albuquerque, see? Los Angeles, all across the country! At Providence Savings Bank.
I think they're linked.
Ferraro, the Archbishop, and abortion. Details after the movie.
Next Sunday, Sneak Week begins with the premiere of Miami Vice. Miami Vice. Feel it coming. Next Sunday. Then, Tuesday, September 18th, meet Sergeant Rick Hunter. He can handle anything. Except his new partner, Dee Dee McCall.
Hold on. Take it easy, Will, and get back there in one piece.
Just eat your hot dog.
She's good at keeping him in his place.
I may keep you in there permanently.
Just get out there and get attacked like you're supposed to.
But somehow Hunter still manages to have some fun.
A water pistol?
Just hand me something to put on.
Hunter, a special 2-hour Sneak Week movie premiere, Tuesday, September 18th. Meet the hottest new star on daytime television.
Chase, Captain.
He'll make your summer days sizzle with passion on Search for Tomorrow.
This is NBC News Digest. Here is Jennifer McLogan, NBC News.
Good evening. Democratic presidential candidate Walter Mondale today renewed his charge that President Reagan will sock it to middle-income earners with a post-election tax increase. Meanwhile, the Republican president was at a Polish rally in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, asking Democrats to vote Republican this fall. The United States Supreme Court has rejected the appeal for life from convict Timothy Baldwin, and he will be executed tomorrow morning in the Louisiana electric chair. He murdered a blind woman, 85 years old. And if you're up tomorrow morning at 7:14 Eastern Time, you'll see television history. Bryant Gumbel will interview the Soviet Union's top military man, Marshal Sergei Akhamayev, on the NBC Today program. I'm Jennifer McLogan in New York. More news later on this NBC.
A lot of people make news, but only a few can make it make sense. John Hambrick, News 4 New York. Is there any reason to watch anyone else?
New Treetop 100% pure fruit juices.
Treetop your hike, treetop your bike, treetop your bridge, treetop your bridge.
100% pure fruit and berry, fruit and citrus, fruit and grape, fruit and apple.
Treetop your news, treetop your snooze, treetop your lunch, treetop your fun. Hey, hey, USA, let's treetop, top your day.
A deadly accident in Queens, the story after the movie.
Sneak Week's coming with a 2-hour movie premiere, Hot Pursuit. She was framed for murder, and only her husband could save her. Hot Pursuit, Saturday, September 22nd. On Santa Barbara.
Did you just say your...
Night Riders David Hasselhoff give Jade her first Hollywood thrill.
I think I just died and went to heaven.
This week.
This News 4 update is sponsored by Commodore Computers.
Coming up tonight on News 4, after the movie, we'll have the latest on the abortion controversy between Geraldine Ferraro and the New York Archbishop. We'll also tell you about a New York playwright who uses her own tragic experience as an abused child to help us.
Also tonight, a construction crane operator is hailed as a hero after he risked his life to save others. And thousands of people filled the streets to enjoy a cornucopia of food and drink, all after the movie.
Last year, people bought IBM computers, Apple computers, and more Commodore computers than Apple and IBM combined.
There'll be 50,000 people here tomorrow. The Office Automation Expo. This company is big in computers. They're just announcing their first system. But one company has it all right now. Professional workstations, electronic printers, file servers, and they can all work together. They've already installed more than 800 networks worldwide. What puts this company ahead of the others? Teamwork.
Amy Grant and Howard Rollins Jr., Monday live at 5.
The only thing I think about is my hair.
Vidal Sassoon, hair care consultant for the athletes of the 1984 Olympic Games.
Let's all be there this fall as Michael Landon travels the highway to heaven.
We just hired a new handyman at the home.
I'd like some flowers to brighten up a place.
Jonathan's a real miracle worker.
Look at the size of them. I mean, yesterday they were...
Yeah, it must be that chemical I mixed in the soil.
He made some of our folks feel needed for the first time in years. And he taught me a few things about myself, too. I look pretty. If I didn't know better, I'd say that he was heaven sent.
Michael Landon on the highway to heaven.
Tomorrow night, catch an outrageous TV bloopers. Then Marco Polo continues his epic journey toward the Orient, enduring the onslaughts of nature, challenging the armies of Kublai Khan, until he discovers the beauty and savagery of China.
And now, Marco Polo continues.
The Procter & Gamble Company is pleased to sponsor, in part, this Emmy Award-winning television event.
Sneak Week has Bill Cosby back as a loving family man with a house full of kids.
I just hope they get out of the house before we die.
The Cosby Show. Then the gambling bug bites Mom. But can the family save her before it's too late?
We're poor. We're poor.
Thursday, September 20th, it's an all-new Family Ties following The Cosby Show.
Marco Polo returns following these messages.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by EasyLink Instant Mail. Here is Chuck Scarborough, NBC News.
Good evening. Walter Mondale today unveiled his plan to cut the budget deficit to $85 billion by 1989 by raising taxes and making cuts in federal spending. Mr. Reagan called the Mondale plan nothing new. He said it would bring taxes to 21% of the gross national product, the highest we've ever been taxed in our history. Now this.
Why just mail it when you can instant mail it with EasyLink?
A 4-ton container of uranium hexafluoride has been washed up on the Belgian shore. It apparently came from a sunken freighter off the Belgian coast. That ship carried over 200 tons of nuclear material. And Pope John Paul's trip through Canada included a visit to Quebec. And today, words of hope for native rights for Indians and for Eskimos. I'm Chuck Scarborough in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Hurricane Diana could be whirling up the coast, the story at 11.
Lulu, how can one become a millionaire? Oh, let me tell you, thank you, darling. See these lovely little products, Ivory Liquid, Cascade, and Cheer. Well, on September 16th, newspapers will have coupons for all three. Redeem them and save a small fortune. Enter their sweepstakes, and you could win the big one. Well, just $1 million. There are other ways to get rich. But none quite as easy.
Marco Polo returns following these messages.
Update. The latest from News 4 New York.
Good evening. The religion and politics issue erupts on two fronts tonight in New York with some heavy hitters speaking out. Walter Mondale reveals a sweeping tax increase plan. Dave Marish looks at what it would cost us, and a new legal tango for a local man in the cabinet.
They're hunkering down in the Carolinas tonight as Hurricane Diana creeps north. Al Roker will have the latest on the big storm, and we'll take you to the glitzy opening night of the new movie, A Soldier's Story.
At 11.
Many people get fresh with us every day. Baskin-Robbins ice cream. Hand-packed, fresh.
Tomorrow on Marco Polo, the mighty Khan continues his quest for domination over all the Orient.
One empire, the greatest under the sun.
And Marco's growing influence in China causes jealousy and suspicion.
Something must be done. The bad influence must be removed.
Marco Polo, tomorrow.
I'm Bryant Gumbel. Tomorrow morning on Today, live from Moscow, U.S. and Soviet athletes talk of Olympics loss. Join us live from Moscow tomorrow morning on Today.
Later on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, guest host Joan Rivers welcomes Ted Danson, Helen Gurley Brown, and John Biner.
The life of the Soviet athlete. I'm Jane Pauley. Tomorrow morning on Today, from Moscow, we'll talk with the Soviet Minister of Sports. Join us tomorrow on Today.
Coming 2 weeks from tonight, the powerful movie drama, Secrets of a Married Man.
Next, on News 4 New York, Dave Marish examines the price tag of Walter Mondale's plan to raise taxes. The Archbishop of New York comments on the latest round in his battle with Geraldine Ferraro over abortion. And a new threat of indictment hangs over Labor Secretary Ray Donovan tonight.
They're hunkering down in the Carolinas tonight as Hurricane Diane turns the waters offshore. Al Roker will have the latest on the storm's track. And we will take you to a blast in the Big Apple, the glitzy premiere of the new movie, A Soldier's Story. Next on News 4 tonight.
People aren't going to charge a white man in this parish on your say-so.
Richard Dawson hosts Family Feud tomorrow at 7:30.
From WNBC TV, this is News 4 New York with Chuck Scarborough and Sue Simmons. And tonight's cover story with Dave Marish.
Good evening. Democratic vice presidential candidate Geraldine Ferraro vows to divide the Archbishop of New York on one of the most controversial issues of our time.
The issue is abortion.
Still ahead, lawyers for Labor Secretary Ray Donovan are in federal court tonight in a last-minute effort to keep him and his construction firm out of hot water. Al Roker tracks the first Atlantic hurricane of the season as thousands are evacuated from the path of Diana, and we'll take you to the glitter and glamour of opening night for Soldier's Story when News 4 New York continues.
A man should always be dressed to meet any situation.
NBO, everything for the well-dressed man at amazingly low prices, except shoes.
CNEC for total office systems that boost productivity with the right medium for every message. Systems that handle voice, data, text, and image with equal ease. CNC Office Systems, from the world leader in integrating computers and communications, NEC.
You won't believe what was on News 4 New York last night. Did you see it?
News 4 New York. Is there any reason to watch anyone else?
Well, this is not the best of nights for Mets fans, Susie.
Well, it should have been more better nights before, you know what I mean?
Yes, a lack of...
I mean, it wasn't grammatically correct, but you get the idea.
I get the idea.
When you need a business loan, does your bank seem to take forever?
It should be any day now. Any day. Any day.
At United Jersey, our bankers value your time as much as your money. We approve some commercial loans in 3 days or less.
Mr. Gavin, you'll have the money in your account on Thursday. Yes, this Thursday.
If time means money to you, talk to United Jersey, the fast-moving bank.
No matter what your budget, Potemkin has the used car you want. And low monthly payments make your choice even easier. Choose from values like this. 81 Cadillac Coupe or Sedan DeVille, $79.95. 81 Olds Cutlass or Buick Regal, $59.95. incredible prices, and every car is mechanically prepped so you can buy with complete confidence. Stop in and let us show you our tremendous selection. Why pay more for your used car? Pay Potemkin a visit.
Tonight, the weather report is sponsored by Grand Union Supermarkets.
Guys, again, the threat of scattered showers and temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. And as we take a look at the next 5 days ahead, we look for showers pretty much right through the period, and that's because of Diana. The way it's looking right now, we are going to say that there are going to be at least scattered showers, maybe even some heavier rain around midweek, temperatures up into the upper 70s and the low 80s. So we will keep an eye on this for you, and there'll be an update, of course, tomorrow morning on the Early Today show, starting at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you. Tomorrow on Live at 5, you know the guy that won Ed McMahon's Star Search. Sam Harris will be here tomorrow along with author Irving Wallace.
And next on the Tonight Show, guest host Joan Rivers and Helen Gurley Brown. See you tomorrow.
New from the Daily News, Tuesday Business. A weekly pullout section full of news that can help you get more out of your money.
This has been a presentation of News 4 New York.
Why some women never stop mothering their men. Tomorrow at 9.
How old should your child be before you buy a computer? High school, when he's planning a career? Elementary school, when she can either fall behind or leap ahead? Or preschool, to give him a head start? When you buy is up to you, but Commodore makes the decision easier than any other computer. Because it's a 64, it's very powerful. Because it's Commodore, it's very affordable.
In this building, Mr. Reagan's people are borrowing the money that's putting each of us $18,000 into debt, deficit spending. And who walks away with the money? 90,000 profitable corporations that pay no taxes, defense contractors on bloated budgets, foreign interests who make money on our debt. What the deficit really means is that you're paying for their free ride. But in November, you can stop it. Mondale Ferraro, they're fighting for your future.
There is no way in the world that I'm going to get on skates today.
You've got to put your foot down with these kids and be firm. Let them know who's boss. Oh, how could I resist? I mean, after all, that's what being a big sister is all about. Having faith in them, sharing the experience, going along with it. No. This is Diane Shannon. No matter what, you'll love being a big sister. Come on.
NBC Sneak Week starts Sunday with the Miami Vice 2-hour movie premiere. Then Monday, TV's Bloopers and Practical Jokes opens its second big season with special guest Johnny Carson, followed by the NBC All-Star Hour and an all-new George Burns special. Tuesday, the A-Team explodes into a new season.
You tricked me, sucker.
Followed by the 2-hour movie premiere of Hunter, with a pair of cops who are full of surprises.
Thank you.
And Wednesday of Sneak Week, it's Highway to Heaven, a 2-hour movie premiere with Michael Landon.
I turn the other cheek.
On Thursday, Cosby's back as a loving family man.
I brought you in this world, and I'll take you out.
In the premiere of The Cosby Show. And on Saturday, Linda Carter and Lonnie Anderson welcome guest Vanessa Williams in the premiere of Partners in Crime.
Nice.
Followed by the 2-hour movie premiere of Hot Pursuit as a husband battles to save his wife framed for murder. Sneak Week. Don't miss this exciting week of new show premieres starting Sunday on NBC.
The mighty Khan sweeps across the Orient while Marco Polo's growing influence causes jealousy, suspicion, and danger as Marco Polo continues next. This Sunday, don't miss the season premiere of Silver Spoons on A New Night, followed by Punky Brewster, Knight Rider, and Miami Vice.
NBC, let's all be there.
Tuesday in Sneak Week.
I don't know why we don't go up there and just kick some butts.
It's the season premiere of an all-new A-Team.
Are we a groovy, happening bunch of guys, or what?
You bet they are, especially when trouble means live bullets and loaded bikinis. It's non-stop action on an all-new A-Team next Tuesday.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Del Monte Vegetables. Here is Chuck Scarborough, NBC News.
Good evening. Hurricane Diana, pushing winds of up to 135 miles per hour, is lashing the North Carolina coast tonight. Torrential rain, tree-bending gusts, and high tides accompanied Diana's push onto shore. Thousands have fled the Wilmington area seeking higher ground. The Red Cross said some 7,000 are housed in emergency evacuation centers, and the National Guard has been alerted for security. Now this.
Del Monte offers you quality vegetables with no salt added. So you have a choice. Del Monte regular and Del Monte vegetables with no salt added.
Major airlines agreed today to shift about 50 flights from peak to off-peak times at Newark Airport, but that's still short of what the government requested to ease air travel delays in the New York area. And organizers announced today the Summer Olympics made a profit of $150 million. I'm Chuck Scarborough in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Hurricane Diana threatens the North Carolina coast after the movie.
The following program is an NBC special presentation.
Through 5 governors, 6 mayors, and 3 transit strikes, there's been only one, Gabe Pressman. News 4, New York. Is there any reason to watch anyone else?
This is NBC News Digest. Here is Chuck Scarborough, NBC News.
Good evening. Hurricane Diana's punch is being felt tonight in North Carolina. With the storm center still offshore, Wilmington's being pounded by 115-mile-an-hour winds. There's already been damage to homes and buildings, flooding, power outages, and mass evacuation of low-lying areas. The full force of Diana is expected to come ashore between midnight and dawn. Soviet dissident Andrei Sakharov has been released from a clinic and has resumed his normal private life, according to a West German newspaper. And President Reagan said today he'll meet with Soviet Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko at the White House, September 28th. It'll be the first talk with a senior Kremlin leader in almost 4 years. I'm Chuck Scarborough in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
It's a Sneak Week preview of The Highway to Heaven.
I'm an angel.
Join Michael Landon for a special Sneak Week preview of The Highway to Heaven, Wednesday, September 19th.
I'm Bryant Gumbel, live from Moscow. Tomorrow morning on Today, we'll meet an American businessman who deals with the Soviets. Also, Broadway comes to the Soviet Union. Tomorrow morning on Today.
This News 4 update is sponsored by Shearson Lehman, American Express.
Good evening. Tonight after Marco Polo, we'll have a late report from the Carolinas where Hurricane Diana is roaring ashore right now. The jury is still out in the Gastineau O'Brien assault trial, and police have a suspect in the mutilation murder of a young Long Island woman.
A breakthrough in Soviet-American relations. Dave Marish analyzes tonight's primary results, and New Zealand Indians bring their ancestral spirits to New York.
At 11:30.
Later on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, guest host Joan Rivers welcomes Billy D. Williams, Kate Jackson, and Selma Diamond. Then join David Letterman and comedian George Miller.
What's it like for a capitalist to do business with communists? I'm Jane Pauley. Tomorrow morning on Today, we'll see the dollar-ruble race in Moscow. Join us tomorrow morning on Today.
Marco Polo returns following these messages.
Monday of Sneak Week. It's a night of specials. Johnny Carson kicks off an all-new bloopers along with Lonnie Anderson and Linda Carter. And join your NBC favorites in a toast to this fall's Hot Few series. Let's all be there for the NBC All-Star Hour. Then George Burns is going to teach Bob Hope, Catherine Bach, and the Rams cheerleaders how to live to be 100 Monday.
The teaching of the Catholic Church is monolithic on the subject of abortion.
I'm just saying that we have to be very, very careful not to seek to impose our private morality, our private judgments on other people.
As the debate over religion and politics intensifies, Governor Cuomo goes to Notre Dame University to speak on the issue of church and state. News 4's Gabe Pressman will be in Indiana with a live report tomorrow at 6 and 11. News 4, New York. Is there any reason to watch anyone else?
The Ferraro financial flap, the story at 11.
1 week from tonight, Michael Landon will lift your spirits.
I turn the other cheek.
He'll touch the hearts of all America in the 2-hour movie premiere of Highway to Heaven. Then on the season premiere of St. Elsewhere, guest star Michael Learned must make a life-or-death decision.
You have no right to play God, Sister Domenica.
What do you think you're doing?
St. Elsewhere, next Wednesday.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Emory Worldwide. Here is John Hart, NBC News.
Good evening. President Reagan said Walter Mondale's tax program would put a ball and chain around America's neck. Mondale said Reagan would likely have a tax plan that would cost middle Americans $500 a year. Geraldine Ferraro said the House Ethics Committee will investigate her financial disclosures because she said the filing of a Conservative Action Group's complaint obligates the committee to process it. Now this.
Sending documents for million-dollar deals across the country doesn't intimidate me. I trust Emory, desk to desk.
Call Emory. We've earned the trust of American business.
The United Auto Workers Union says General Motors is dragging its feet, and if it doesn't change by Friday night, the contract talks are heading for a ditch. Vietnam says it'll keep its promise and search for Americans missing in action there. I'm John Hart. More news later on this NBC station.
A Muslim population explosion will soon make Russians a minority in their own country. What will this mean to the Soviet Union and us? Tomorrow on NBC Nightly News. This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Budweiser. Here is John Hart, NBC News.
Good evening. President Duarte of El Salvador says he has issued new human rights regulations to his armed forces. No details. The House Appropriations Committee recommended $126 million military aid to El Salvador, and foreign aid worldwide almost $18 billion. Now this.
This buds to everyone who tackles the challenges of that new promotion.
For all you do, it's fun for you.
Researchers report that smoking appears to be the single most important cause of recurring ulcers, and giving up smoke's probably more effective than the leading ulcer drug. The House ended one of the oldest arguments on the Hill and sent to the President a bill to make almost 2 million acres of California wild forever. I'm John Hart in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Tonight we are going to have the most wonderful show. We're going to have my good friend David Brenner. We're going to have Tina Merrill, who is so elegant, and for Melissa and all of us, Elvis Costello.
This News 4 update is sponsored by Shearson Lehman American Express.
Coming up at 11, hundreds of people in the Bronx hold a huge protest to stop a real estate giant from changing their neighborhood. An explosion rocks Brooklyn, hurting several people.
Geraldine Ferraro tackles another financial flap. The Jets' Mark Gastineau gets sacked with a guilty verdict. And a look at some familiar-looking look-alikes. That and a lot more tonight after Marco Polo.
We will see you at that time.
1 week from tonight, it's the season premiere of St. Elsewhere with a new batch of rookie residents.
This is stupid. No, this is the morgue. You're not paying attention.
But when tragedy strikes, guest star Michael Learned must make a life-or-death decision.
You have no right to play God, Sister Domenica.
What do you think you're doing?
St. Elsewhere, the season premiere, 1 week from tonight on NBC.
Later on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, guest host Joan Rivers welcomes Tina Merrill, David Brenner, and Elvis Costello. Then join David Letterman and guests Carl Reiner and Patti LaBelle.
How can you save money on long-distance phone calls? I'm Jane Pauley. Tomorrow on Today, we'll tell you. Join us tomorrow morning on Today.
Up next on News 4 tonight, hundreds of Bronx residents turn out in force to fight a major real estate tycoon. We'll tell you why. And if you got the munchies in Midtown, we will tell you the fate of your favorite food vendor.
Also ahead tonight in this cover story, Dave Marish looks at the new financial flap Geraldine Ferraro finds herself in. And Al Roker will tell us just how close Hurricane Diana is getting to New York next on News 4 New York tonight.
So we're going to have to continue to keep an eye on it, and when we come back a little bit later, we'll tell you whether it'll be affecting us.
For our vice president, it's not later. It's now.
Still ahead tonight on News 4 New York, Geraldine Ferraro is on the defensive once again over a new financial flap. We'll tell you why. And we'll tell you what happened when the Pope stepped right into an explosive political dispute tonight in Canada. And we'll show you why these people are getting so much attention these days when News 4 New York continues.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's Bamberger's 3-day sale with savings on Clubhouse and Pace Center separates. All Mrs. and Petite's rainwear, every men's designer suit, selected pearl strands and earrings. Get sheets by Issey Miyake for half price. This Mikasa fine china set for $149. And this Zenith 19-inch TV for just $329. All this and more Thursday, Friday, Saturday only at Bamberger's 3-day sale.
I told him I wanted to go to Belmont Park to see the fabulous Woodward. But what I also wanted was this terrific tote bag.
I told her I wanted to go to Belmont to get this terrific tote bag. But what I also wanted was to see the fabulous Woodward.
Saturday, September 15th. Come through to the Woodward, start of the Fall Triple Classic, and come home with a free tote bag. No wonder New York's going to the horses at Belmont Park.
There was something interesting on News 4 New York last night. Did you see it?
News 4 New York. Is there any reason to watch anyone else?
Coming up, Marv will have all the sports, including the Canadian Cup hockey highlights.
And he will also tell us about the Mets' record night.
Where can you get 25% off every raincoat? At A&S September sale. Right now at A&S, it's 25% off every raincoat. Mrs. Junior, 25% off every London Fog. Misty Harbor, Fleet Street, Forecaster, Box Run 2, Junior Gallery. It's 25% off every men's raincoat. Every London Fog. Misty Harbor, London Town. Every trench, classic, zipline. It's 25% off every raincoat right now at A&S. Terrific.
It's Gimbal's spectacular day into night sale. Thursday, all Gimbal stores will open at 8 a.m. till midnight for a value-packed 16 hours of store-wide savings of 20 to 50%. Save on fabulous fall fashions for the whole family. Save on broadloom, bedding, and housewares. Save on beautiful furniture and domestics. And on a world of terrific home entertainment. 16 hours of store-wide savings of 20 to 50% at all Gimbal stores Thursday from 8 a.m. till midnight during Gimbal's spectacular day into night sale. Don't miss it.
We'll be right back.
Somewhere there's a bank that gives me the financial services I need and some personal attention, too.
Welcome to National Westminster Bank, USA.
I'll show you how to earn bonus yields on CDs.
I'll help you lock in a low loan rate.
I can help you expand, even start your business. And I promise that at NatWest USA, you'll always receive personal attention. So, from all of us, welcome.
Welcome to National Westminster Bank, USA.
Tonight, the Sports Report is sponsored by National Westminster Bank, USA.
The Meadowlands offers the special start-to-finish excitement of nighttime thoroughbred racing. Driving power and head-to-head competition as jockey and horses one thunder to the finish line. All the action and suspense of thoroughbred racing. It happens again and again, night after night, at the Meadowlands.
In the end, 7 of the Ferraro fakes were chosen, and in a nonpartisan gesture, a man who resembles a certain Republican showed up.
There were also a lot of Ferraros who were Republicans there today. I mean, Ferraro look-alike.
I beg your pardon. I don't think you have enough time. Okay. You've got me confused. I don't quite understand what you were saying.
There were a lot of Ferraro look-alikes, and some of them were Republicans.
Oh, I see. No,
Joan Rivers is hosting the Tonight Show with David Brenner tomorrow. Roger Dolphy, formerly of The Who, will be on. Good night.
Thank you for having us in for news.
Next time you're shipping 2 packages to the same place, send one by Federal, the other by Airborne. See which one gets there first.
Watch out, Federal. Here comes Airborne.
This has been a presentation of News 4 New York.
You want more for your kids than you have. And that's the American dream.
Mondale and Ferraro bringing a new fairness to America. While Mr. Reagan tries to slash Medicare, they fight for seniors. While he forces 4 million people out of work, they fight for workers. And on tax breaks,
I refuse to make your family pay more
so that millionaires can pay less.
They'll be taking the first step in a new direction for America. Mondale Ferraro, for your future.